was imagine, yeah, back in the day, but not recently, if ever.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a
I
lot.
don't even know if the steroid dudes hit that many before the
That's a
home run
good
break.
stat. We got people out there who can research that for us. I would say probably so, but I don't know for sure.
Hmm.
Cal Raleigh, by the way, also was a switch hitting catcher. Who
Yeah.
ever heard of a switch hitting catcher hitting that many home runs?
Yeah, I think he played his ball at North Carolina, if I'm not
Did
mistaken. But
he? His father was his pitcher, and his brother, little brother, 15, who's a big kid, was the
yeah.
catcher. So it's all family affair.
So if any of our people who love to do stats on this
Yeah,
program, because we're too lazy to do it,
we are.
I can't remember like Mark McGuire or Sammy Sosa or Barry Bonds,
38.
any of those guys hitting more than 38 home runs before the All-Star break.
Be a great trivia question for somebody if you like baseball. I don't follow it that closely, but he played for the Mariners. And let me just say about Truist Park. I've never been there,
It's
but
pretty cool.
the drone views they have of the stands that go straight down give me vertigo. Man, oh man, do you see those things? Oh,
Well, the beauty about the Braves ballpark, their new ballpark, it's they got that battery, I think they call it out there,
yeah,
behind right field where they have the hotel, they have tons of restaurants.
they do.
Uh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
It's
my best friend is the manager of one of the shifts at the restaurant and he out there. And boy, their business has been through the roof. It always was, but it's a diner and now you can't get in there. So that whole area out there is just north of Atlanta is so crazy.
yeah. Um, John on YouTube brought about Quad Plum says he went to FSU. I don't know who he's referring to. The catcher went to North Carolina.
Okay, I don't
That's
know
hitting all
that.
those home runs. All right.
Well, it's a simple click on them if everybody wants to do it for us. We just can't do it while we're doing the show.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Give me your thoughts. I didn't get to see any SEC Media Days
Yeah.
yesterday. We know we had the State of the Union address by Greg Sankey, which he can ramble for a while, giving us all the
Mhm.
stats of the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
What did you take away from day one?
Well, I think like from day one, they got some guys who were smart, bright, and good-looking kids. The kids are so sharp today, and that Ryan Kelly's on the hot seat. Have they lost five in a row in openers? Is that right?
Yes.
Five?
Yes.
Holy mackerel! No wonder they're all geared up, and they're geared up to try to win a game for a change in the opening game.
Well,
I've got.
it's not like they played a bunch of cupcakes either.
I know they didn't. I get it, but still, that's a lot. Um, I was a lot more impressed with Clark Lee than I thought I wanted to be. I don't know that necessarily means he's going to win a bunch of games, whether they last year 7-6, but they did beat Alabama last year. I had forgotten that, and so I didn't. I'm not considering them a contender, but certainly their program's turned around. Um, I took away a lot of little nuances, little things. Greg Sankey talking about his deal. I think I mentioned on our show to you last night. But of all the games played last year in college football, the most watched games, uh, 70% were SEC and Big Ten. They kind of got a hold on the playoffs, and that's why they're having problems coming to grips with the rest of the leagues. So what I took away from it, like you said, just more stats with Sankey. He's got a million of them. I was impressed with what I heard and saw. Pointing toward today and tomorrow. It's going to be an all Texas day today. And boy, I think they'll make a splash. We had a discussion on our show last night about how great could this kid be, Arch Manning, and there's no limit to it. And also the fact that so many people seem to want to put him down, want to find something wrong with him. This kid is magnificent. If you went into a test tube and you want to build a football player, you have all the ingredients there of what you would need as a player, don't you think?
If you're talking about Arch Manning,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Now, mentally, I don't know where he is because I don't sit in meeting rooms.
Mhm.
I don't know all that. But physically, I've said it multiple times. He is way more gifted and blessed than his two uncles were when it comes to playing quarterback. Now we have to see if it all turns out that way.
But
Clay,
Shane, you know the Mannings, you follow them. You're like
yeah.
they're on they're among the favorite, probably the most favorite family for you in the whole world of college football, I know,
Agree.
and you love him, and you what do you think he's going to be like?
I think he's damn
Going to
good.
be cool. He's going to be a very cool
I think he's
kid and
very good.
sharp, and yeah, I think the guy's got every ingredient to be the ultimate quarterback. Now, you don't become that overnight. The question is, has he played enough to become? And I think Coach Spurrier had a pretty legitimate question. Is if he was that good, why didn't he play more? And that's true.
But that's kind of they also had a stud at the that was starting in front of him. All right,
Well,
so I
yeah,
guess I saw it wrong, but everybody says this Cal Raleigh guy played at Florida State.
did not know that. Did not know that.
I could have sworn when I turned it on, because I turned it on, yeah, he
Hmm.
played at Florida State. Interesting. Maybe he's from North Carolina. I don't know.
Okay,
But
we learned something today already.
still, okay, so he went to Florida State. Does anybody know if anybody's hit 38 home runs at the break?
Yeah, there's the
That's
next
more
thing. Where's
important.
that crack research team?
That's more important.
Yeah.
Um, Real quick, Clayton on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law says, will Billy ever put five wide receivers on the field at once? We are loaded at wide receiver. I doubt it.
Four,
Um,
baby. Four.
yeah, we've never even done four wides.
I know, but he'll do four this year.
I don't know if he will or not, because I think, and I'm part of the problem here when it comes to that. You run you run personnel groupings due to what you're going to get from the defense. You just don't
Hmm.
throw it out there, just throw it out there.
Hmm.
Um, is there a time and place for four wides and five wides? Yes. Do we go empty? We do go empty, but we're in 12 personnel,
Yeah.
which is two tight ends,
Yeah.
two wide receivers, and your running backs. Um, so, I mean, we'll see. I highly doubt it. But again, it's all about when you call a player and you have your personnel grouping, it's like, okay, what are we going to do from a protection standpoint if this happens? You always go through your worst case scenarios. Okay.
Hmm.
What is the defense? What is their adjustment if we go five wides, five legitimate wide receivers?
Hmm.
They're going to bring their nickel package in, or their dime package. Do we match up against that? Or are we better off keeping them in 12 personnel, which means we have two tight ends on the field, meaning our two wide receivers may have an advantage when the two tight ends are on the field against what they're doing defensively. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Real chess game there, I'm sure. And here's the
It always
thing,
is.
Shane. Here, I mean, it's a question, but wouldn't there be times where you would put something on the field to get a look, just to see how they would respond to it?
Well, you do, but you also, that's what your film study, because you're watching so much film and you know that, okay, 98% of the time when we go 12 personnel, they're going to be in this defense from their standpoint. If we
Hmm.
go 11 personnel, they have all these stats. So does it help to do it in your live game? Yes, because they
Hmm.
may adjust to your personnel.
Right.
It's always a chess game, but you usually have some stats leading up to the game of what they're going to do to certain formations and personnel groupings.
Hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I was just saying, can you imagine what it must have been like when
that couldn't cover wide receivers.
I hate the
It
game, the
does.
way the game has changed, that you have to take the middle linebacker out of the game on the fourth down. That's unfortunate because many times he's your best player. Not so much anymore, but he used to be.
All right, so Bonds hit 39 home runs at the break in
Okay. All
2001.
right. All right. Yeah.
All right, this guy has 38. It's pretty impressive.
And
I don't know if
Bonds,
that was one
yeah.
of the years Bonds was on juice or what have you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great stat to have. Great stat to have. Shane, when you before you get out of here, leave me stranded. Before I get a chance to ask you about this, what did you think of all the hubbub about Hugh Freeze playing too much golf? Somebody ran down his the scores he's turned in this year and said during a recruiting period when he was supposed to be recruiting, he turned in 8 scores.
What were the scores?
Well, the point is not what they were, is the fact he was playing a lot of golf.
I have zero problem with
Yeah,
that.
well, that's my next question. And yeah, and of course, you grew up under a guy who did that all the time.
I had a guy who would show up late to practice because he was at the country club. Not late, but get there right. He wouldn't he'd come straight to look, as long as you go out and you do your job, you can have outside hobbies. Lane fishes a lot. Hugh Freeze fishes a lot too and plays golf.
Mm.
But you got to remember too, and maybe the rule has changed, the head coach, somebody can correct me on this as well. The head coach sometimes cannot go visit kids. Only the coaches that are
Right,
out on the road can.
right.
So what good's it going to do for him? He has
Well,
a cell phone now. Where think about it, Coach Spurrier played golf and didn't have a cell phone
mhm.
back in those days. He could be on hole 3 and they can call and say, "Hey, Buddy Martin just committed to us," or
Yeah,
"We got to do something. You got to call Jimmy from Yellowwood. We need
yeah.
more money for this guy."
I feel
Right?
like it. Yeah.
I don't care. I think that is the most overblown thing because, buddy, not just with football, whether it's whatever sport it is or whatever business it is, people that are successful, in my opinion, do other things.
Multitask. Successful people
Or
are
they
great
have they
multitask.
have things to get their mind off of what their
Right,
real job
right.
is.
Part of the
If you
deal.
don't, you will drive yourself insane.
Yeah.
So,
You remember that famous scene supposedly where the week before they were playing Tennessee? Bobby Soups was in the beach, Crescent Beach, and he and Steve were out in the ocean.
yeah,
And he said, Steve turned to him and said, "What do you think Tennessee coaches are doing today?" You know,
yeah,
he used it. He actually used that.
yep, no doubt about it. Shooter says on YouTube, brought to you by Quad Pluma, Shane, who would be the ultimate four-person scramble? Well, I would not play any scramble, but I'd have to think
Mhm.
about who my ultimate foursome would be. I'd make it a fivesome probably. Um, all right, buddy, we got a bunch of texts here we need to get to.
All right.
This one, not sure who it's from. It says, Ask Buddy, this is on the Titan MR text line. Ask Buddy what his favorite Gator football game he has ever seen. Mine is the FSU game in which HBC used two QBs. That would have been Doug and Jesse. That would have been when they upset Florida State.
Hmm.
That would have been in 99, I think.
Mm.
What's your favorite game?
National championship game. Well, no, they beat
1996?
FSU. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's really mind because of the way people got to remember what happened in that, and what transpired. Physically, the beating that Danny Werfel got in that game, it was amazing. He got knocked out about 50 times, and the late hits couldn't get called. Coach Spurrier wasn't. He went crazy about it. He got a bunch of stats together. He was angry and mad, and they played. That was a heck of a football game. As far as offensive line, they didn't have their two starting tackles. That was part of the problem. But what a ball game that was. Florida lost, I think it was 24-21 in Tallahassee. They come back. I remember standing on that bench that day, or standing in the bowels of Doe Campbell, and Danny Werfel was standing on a chair. And he was so physically beaten. I've never seen a quarterback more physically beaten up. And I heard a reporter say, "Well, I guess there goes the national championship game." And everybody's kind of like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And Werfel said, "Hold on. No, it doesn't. We still got a shot at winning that game." He had to be the only person in that room who thought at that time they could still win the national championship. Granted, it took a few things to happen. And of course, he went to the shotgun. Shane, you know how much he was anti-shotgun.
Hmm.
They went to the shotgun, beat Alabama, and then went on to win the national championship at Trump, Florida State. That was my favorite game.
Yeah, that was 90. That the game you're
96,
referring to is 97, Doug and Mo.
97 game, right? No.
Yeah. So, all right, we got a couple more texts here on the Titan MR text line. This one's from John, who's in Miami. He says, Doring said DJ doesn't have a shoulder problem. He has a hernia problem.
Yeah. I'm
That
not.
both are true.
Yeah, I
Both.
think that's the thing. It's true, both are true. I don't
Yeah.
think that's the
The
case. That's
shoulder
not.
is the issue. The
Yeah,
sports hernia, those are people
common.
get those
Yeah,
done all the time.
yeah,
Um, but the shoulder is an issue.
yeah. I think he got part of that true. Like you said, both are true.
Yeah. Hopefully the shoulder isn't a problem during the season.
Yeah.
All right,
You
Gary,
heard what Coach said about Hugh Freeze, right?
Coach
Spurrier
Hood.
quote.
Mm-mm.
I asked him about he playing golf. He said that's not the problem. The problem is he doesn't win ball games. I think he went 5-7 last year. Is that correct? Yeah, he's got to do better than that at Auburn. They got good players and sort of a little rut, but they can come out of it.
Yeah,
So
nobody, if Auburn was 10-2, nobody would give a damn if he played 36 holes a day.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
you know. Gary on the Titan MR text line from Chattanooga says, Buddy, why do people really care who the best quarterback is in the SEC, and why does everyone blast Arch Manning?
That's a great question. I don't think everyone does, but a lot of people do. Number one, you're always afraid of what you don't know. Secondly, there's jealousy always. I think we all like to rank things. Talked about it last night. We talked about how many teams could win the national championship out of the SEC. Who are the best quarterbacks? And you and I agree. There's a lot of people who don't agree with that. I think right now you've got the prototypical great quarterback in the making. We all want to see how good he is. We're measuring against what we see. DJ, of course, being one of those paradigms that you measured against. And the guy at FSU, by the way, got a good looking brother too, who played quarterback. So I guess it's a natural thing. I want to say who's the best quarterback. I asked you that question, Shane. Who's the best quarterback?
Well, my top four in the SEC are Nussmeier, DJ, John Mateer, and Arch Manning,
You
in
keep
no
bringing up
particular order.
material. You and France keep bringing up material. I've not
Oh,
seen
buddy, he'll probably lead
him.
the league in passing in my opinion.
Really. How about the kid
Remember,
from Ole Miss? Supposed to be so great.
Austin Simmons, I think, has a
Yeah.
lot of potential as well, but I think John Mateer,
Okay.
with the system they're going to run,
Yeah.
well, and again, I think they have a very, very difficult schedule, but I don't really care. I think they're going to lead the league in passing, or LSU will.
What does material do that's so great?
He can throw it, buddy. He comes from the air raid type offense.
Yeah.
He threw for 1 million yards last year at Washington State. He's got his offense coordinator. He knows the system.
Yeah.
Um, I just, I think, uh, I think he's really good. I've seen him
Yeah.
play. I've watched some of his games. I think he's really,
Yeah.
um, all right. And I could, like I said, I could be wrong. I don't really care, but
I'm
that's
hearing a
my
lot
opinion.
about material. I just don't know about him. I
Right,
just
because
don't
you
know
haven't seen
about
him play at Washington State.
him. Yeah.
All right, here's a text on Titan MR text line. Did you guys hear that Saban may coach again? Thoughts? I don't think it's possible. I don't think he will. What do you think, buddy?
I doubt it, but that came out of a pretty good source yesterday, the SEC media days. And it's brought up and it stunned Feinbaum. And the reason being that the people talking about it said he's sharp. He got everything he ever had. He's just as sharp as he ever was. He could really be a great coach. And the latest information that's come out of that is out of LSU that to have him in the ready room in case Brian Kelly can't get it done this year. That's where that came from, apparently. Now, I have confirmed that. That's putting two and two together and the things we heard. So I don't think it will happen, but I guess we always want to think about it. And he would be good for the game again, but I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it will either. John says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, Jarvis's Moss block of the field goal was his
Mm.
favorite game. Um, or maybe Kevin said that.
It's a great story about that.
I think that there's a couple of games or plays
Yeah,
that basically changed the outlook of Gator football, in my opinion.
God, that would be one. That block.
That if we do not block that field goal,
Mm.
there is no national championship that
Yeah.
year, and you may not win anymore. You
There's a
know,
great backstory there. Charlie Strong tells us about Jarvis Moss. Have you heard it? How
I
he
don't
came
think
off
I
the
have.
field. He was absolutely shot. He had nothing left in the tank. He had nothing. And Charlie said, "Can you go?" And he said, "Yes, I can go." "Are you sure, Moss?" He said, "Yes, I can do it. I can go. I can do it." He got in there and got his finger on that kick. His finger. That changed the course of the game.
The play, I think it's the play before though, where
The penalty.
the penalty on
Yeah.
in South Carolina.
The touchdown, South Carolina, and a call back.
Yeah, yep. And then I think the very next play they had a legal procedure, like a
Yeah,
five
I think
yard
you're
on the
right.
left tackle.
Yeah, I
So
think you're right.
whenever Meyer wanted to introduce his high quality tequila to the Gator Nation, he made sure to get it to the HBC and his team at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Dorn's Liquors. Go beyond with smooth Los Landeros tequila. All right, buddy. Here on the Titan MR text line, we got Buddy on that. YouTube. Kevin says, my company has done a lot of work for the author, Bill Frakes, that wrote the Manning book, and he can't say enough good things about the family. I mean, you won't
Okay.
find a better family.
Well, let's get him on the program.
Who?
The author.
Well, it's not his company works with that guy,
Well,
Bill
let's get
Frakes.
that guy on the field, on the
Do you know
show.
who Bill Frakes is?
I know the name. I know who he's the writer. I don't know much about him. I would say you tell your buddy to get Frakes to come on your show so we can
Well,
talk to him
he's not my
here.
buddy. He's a listener.
Well, all right. Then he brought it up. So I just,
I'll tell you right now, the Mannings don't do a lot of interviews.
yeah, I know. Tell me that. I
I have
know.
spoken multiple times to Archie, and they politely decline because if they do one show, they got to do a million shows.
I know. But you know what? You don't have to have. You have it the author, the guy who wrote the book. They want to sell books,
Oh,
don't they?
I don't know. I don't know that guy. So
Oh, come on, Shane. You can do better than that.
Daryl says on the Titan Mart text line, the media boys are hyped up on Arch Manning. Do y'all think Texas takes a step back, or are they still a serious playoff contender? I
Oh,
think
they're
they are
there. Yeah,
loaded.
yeah,
I
they're
think
the
they are
favorite.
loaded.
They're favored, in my opinion. I don't think the Big Ten's going to win this year. I think Texas is going to win all but maybe one game. Might be Florida.
Could
Might
be.
lose to
I don't know.
Florida. Could be, you know.
This text from Larry on the Titan Mart text line says, Buddy, remember when all the Gator fans were wanting Brian Kelly instead of Billy Napier?
No, I don't. Well, I know that there was a talk at one point in time that Napier wanted the job at LSU and was waiting in the wings. They had Kelly. I don't ever remember Gator fans wanting Brian Kelly that I recall. He's not a very popular guy down here, you know? He just isn't. I don't remember that. Could be. I just don't remember it.
Well, I don't know if it's that. I do vaguely remember, you know, I guess when Billy was really struggling, they're like, well, we could have gone after Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
who knows? Who cares? Billy's our coach, and
Making 10 million then, buddy.
um, who Kelly?
Yeah.
He's somewhere up there.
He was making 10 million then. That's why you're gonna go after. Anyway, I don't remember that. Sorry.
Yeah, Clint says Shane doesn't like inviting strangers. I'll have anybody on my show. Clint, if you would
Mhm.
like to be the booking agent, which is maybe the most difficult job in
It
all
is hard. It
professions,
is. You people
people
don't
don't understand
realize.
it.
They don't understand how hard it is to get people on your show.
Right,
I
because people have
spend,
things going on. They have lives. And then when you do get people on, they forget or something
oh
comes up and
yeah.
they have to cancel. So
Oh yeah, it happens. It's just it's tough. I know I do it every week. That's why you kind of tend to settle on your regulars because you know they're going to be there.
no doubt. Andy's question
Yeah.
on Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. Shane, do you think Arch sticks around next year as well? The Mannings
Oh
don't
yeah.
seem to be in a hurry to
Yeah.
go to the
Yeah.
NFL.
They'll be
Yes,
there. Yeah.
I
Without
think he will
doubt.
play for Sarkisian as long as he can
Mhm.
and go from
I'm
there.
not as much to give the crown of excellence and the brilliance to Sarkisian as all you guys are, who
Oh,
thinks he's the greatest play caller of all time and all
I
that.
didn't nobody that didn't you
Well,
see
I know, but
everybody
that
you're
comes
putting
from.
words in people's mouths.
No, I'm not. I've heard been told that by a lot of people.
I think he is clearly the best play caller in America
Mhm.
right now.
Okay,
But I didn't say it of all time.
I don't feel that, but anyway, let's see. Let's see what happens. Did you hear Brady Donay that got picked by Tampa Bay finally in the draft? You followed the draft at all? I followed it some. He picked it by Tampa Bay in the 17th round, so he's gone. And one more little note: Greg McElroy was the one who broke the so-called Saban story. He didn't say Saban. He just said it was a well-known coach, and he said I wouldn't. It was somebody notable. He says, if it wasn't somebody notable, I would never say a word. So that emanated with the comment by McElroy that one very well-known coach was trying to be lured out of retirement. So that's where that came from.
Yeah. I just don't see him at 70 something years old getting back
73.
into it.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why would you? He
Well, I guess
doesn't.
because you want to, like I said, when Coach Spurrier decided to go coach in that funky league in Orlando, I
Well,
said,
that's different. That's different because there's no pressure. You just go have fun
yeah,
doing what you love to do.
yeah, yeah,
Nick
uh,
Saban ain't gonna do that.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Um,
yeah. Shane, what's this kid, this athlete, the Florida's a monster kid? He's Kent. Is
yeah, he'll probably end up
oh,
playing tackle.
you think not tight end?
Correct. I played with a kid who is going to be a Hall of Famer in the National Football League. He was a free agent out of Arkansas.
Yeah.
He was with the Buffalo Bills. His name was Jason Peters. He was a 300-pound tight end from Arkansas.
Okay.
Nobody drafted him. He came to the Buffalo Bills. They immediately made him a left tackle. He was on the practice squad, I think both years I was in Buffalo, maybe just one year. And he just retired. He may still be playing. So that is, I was in Buffalo. So that is 25 years ago. No, not 25, 20 years ago. Yeah, around 20 years ago. And he is going to be a first ballot, no questions asked Hall of Fame tackle.
Hmm.
Jason Peters is his name. Google him.
Huh.
One of the
Well,
most dominant offensive linemen because he was so big and athletic. And if this guy's the same way, there is no way in hell I even put him at tight end. He is going at left tackle immediately. And I
he's
think
a
that's a
monster.
mistake.
He's an athlete, though. He's an athlete.
Well, you should have seen this dude. This Jason Peters could dunk a basketball any way you want it.
Yeah.
But you cannot play tight end that big. No way.
Well, they're going to do some things with the tight end. I got a feeling something's brewing there with the tight
I
ends.
got a feeling he's going to be playing left tackle
Well, we'll
because he's going
see.
to make, if he's anything like Jason Peters, he will make
Well, he won't play
so much
this year.
money.
He won't play this year. But anyway, the bottom line is that they have. I know you don't follow recruiting, but there's a lot of people who says Florida's got they got between. Here's a stat for you: between 2003 and 2002, Florida got 27 five-star recruits. In the last 12 years, Florida's landed 8 total five stars. That they a lot of people think that the rivals rating is way too low. And that includes this kid Ford that just got, Jalen McCoy, kid we're talking about, etc. That their ratings are going to go way up. I know you don't follow them. Supposedly they're ranked way too low. Anyway, for people who care about recruiting, I know you don't, Shane.
I mean, I do once I get here. Franklin says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing. David from Gators Breakdown said he was told he was recruited as a tight end. Yes, you tell them what you want, what they want to hear,
Hmm.
but he is going to be an offensive lineman. There, you will not change my mind. There's no way because
Okay, well, you
when
know.
Jason
Yeah.
Peters was signed as a free agent to the Buffalo Bills, they let him play some tight end
Hmm.
early to keep him happy. And then they switched him. They said, dude, do you want to be in the NFL and play a long time and make a lot of money because of your athleticism and
Yeah,
your
sure.
ball skills, your hands, your feet? And if this guy, I saw a clip of this guy catching a pass and then
Yeah,
running for a touchdown. He's Jason Peters.
yeah.
And I will be shocked if he ever plays it down at tight end.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
buddy, looking at today's lineup
Yeah,
in Atlanta,
yeah.
um, what are some of the questions you would ask any of these coaches? I mean,
Well,
obviously
I was Hugh Freeze asking about the golf
you
and
would,
about Spurrier. I asked him about the golf criticism, and which is a big story. We'll be asking him if he's talked to Coach Spurrier about it or what he thinks about it. I would ask him that. Kirby Smart, I'll tell you what I asked Kirby Smart. What happened to Will Muschamp? He's gone.
right? Because Will backed off of coaching the last 2 years. He was just an analyst because he has a kid at Vanderbilt.
Yeah, freshman, I think, right?
Um, and Will just wanted to spend time with his family. Look,
Okay, that's fine. I just
yeah,
said that was
I
very
know,
quiet.
and he's no longer doing any coaching at all.
Yeah. He probably needed a break. I think he had burned there. Obviously, Heupel, I'm going to ask him about the quarterback situation, which is going to be their Achilles tendon heel, in my opinion. And then, of course, Texas is a million questions to ask Sark, and I think it's going to be a Manning day. It's going to be a Texas day. I think if you're on the agenda there, other than Hugh Freeze's golf, what are you going to ask Kirby Smart? Probably not much of anything. Heupel, what's he going to say? So Texas, the day belongs to it's Texas Tuesday today in Atlanta, without a doubt.
Speaking of Will Muschamp, I saw this the other day, buddy. I took a screenshot of it. You know, everybody's talking about what a great job Shane Beamer's been doing and all this stuff at South Carolina. Through their first 50 games, Shane Beamer's won three more games than Will Muschamp did in 50 games at South Carolina. Neither one of them. won an SEC title. Each has one bowl win. Each was 0-8 versus Clemson and Texas A&M, and both were 4-4 against Clemson and A&M. So I guess you just kind of look at how I'm not a big believer in South Carolina. I don't think South Carolina will ever have a lot of success like they did under Steve Spurrier ever in the history of the program, ever again.
I'm with you, and maybe it's because we want to protect Spurrier. I don't know, but the bottom
No,
line
I
is,
mean, he had
no,
three
I hear
straight
you.
11 win seasons.
I
They ain't won
understand. Yeah,
11, and they
yeah.
never will win 11.
And we talked about it a long time after you left the show last night. And the fact is that that was the high water mark forever for South Carolina football, and kind of rubbed some people the wrong way when they introduced Beamer, and they said, and he's well, what he and they gave him the stat to Sankey, the winningest coach over a 4 year period in South Carolina ever. And they wait a minute, he says one ahead of Steve Spurrier. I mean, to compare Beamer's 4 years to Spurrier is ridiculous. I mean, he brought South Carolina football back to living. They had a losing record overall in football, and he hadn't won anything. George Rogers, that's about it. He brought respectability, the passion of the fan base. I know people who live there. It's directly laid at the feet of Steve Spurrier. He brought that program back, and now he talks about what a great tradition we got. He said last night, Beamer said, I don't mean to rip on him, but he said, I've got everything I need to win a championship in South Carolina. I
Ain't
mean,
no crap.
I mean, they're not Georgia. I'm sorry. They're kind of elevating themselves a little bit too much, and it may pay for it later on. But no, you're right. They're not in that league.
Nat says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, who's blasting Manning? Blasting it was a text. I don't know if blasting is the correct term to use,
Yeah.
but people say he's overrated, which I totally disagree.
Well, I mean, it could be because he's called the greatest quarterback of all time. That
Who
might be a
said
little
that?
bit. One of the writers from there talked about it. So we're thinking he might be the greatest quarterback. I saw him on Fine Bob's show. Maybe the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, he hadn't really become a starter yet. Let's give him that first. But I mean, look, there's a possibility that could be true. But let's let that one play out a little bit. That's all. I think people say it's a rush to judgment, which it probably is. But look, you and I would say right now, you got to make a decision, go or no go. Your guy, I mean, we're going to say, hey, we think he's going to be great, right? Unless something unusual happens.
Well, I saw him play last year when he played, and I thought he looked very good.
Yeah,
Kevin on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum, says, Shane, do you think it's possible this year could be like Urban's 2006? It's possible. You're going to have a lot of breaks. That year, they got a lot of breaks. Um, ball to win to be in the hunt for titles, you got to get lucky. I mean, when you
you
really
do.
look at, you got
Yeah.
to have some luck on your side.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. There's no doubt about that. I don't know if I compare 2006. A lot went right in 2000, like you said. A lot of breaks went the right
I
way.
mean, when we went in 1996, we had to have a million things
Oh
happen.
yeah, that was just
That's what I'm
that.
saying.
No, no, yeah. I mean, I think it's look. I don't. I think Florida's got a real good chance of having a heck of a year. And that means 9 or 10 wins. That might be a reach, but they got the personnel, the people. I think they got the respect, and there's certain things about this team. This defense apparently is a lot better,
I hope.
a lot better. If they get 3 stops a game, Shane, what would that do?
Well,
Just 3 stops a game.
yeah, the first that first couple of weeks, we when we play that 4 game stretch, the worst case we have to go 2-2. We have
Yeah,
to.
I agree.
We just have to. All right, buddy, before we
Uh,
get you out of here, real quick, we had a text here from Jonathan on the Titan Mar text, and it's pretty long, but basically he wants to know, buddy, how many players from the University of Florida do you think will be picked by the media, first team, second team, third team, as they do? And who would you vote in order if you were still voting for the teams in the SEC preseason? You know how the media votes, like
yeah, no, I'm gonna vote Texas. Would be my choice there. In terms of the players,
I think the
the
only person that's going to be first team all SEC will be Jake Slaughter.
He's a great player. I mean, Austin Barber's going to get some run.
but he will not get
And
the first team.
probably not. I mean, look, those running backs are awfully good. And Jade Ball, in my opinion, but he won't get first team.
No.
I'd say you're probably right. Jake Sawyer will probably be about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Ball will probably be second or third team.
Yeah.
I saw something the other day. I don't know what, I think we talked about it on this program. Maybe it was another publication had DJ as four team all SEC. I think,
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah,
You
I
know,
don't remember what that was. So,
I saw Pat Forty's list, and I saw, even though I don't follow him that close, who else was it? Andy Staples surprised me by putting DJ Lagway number one a little bit. And because he's not doesn't tend to lean toward Florida that much because he was a Florida Gator. Although Coach Spurrier says you can't remember him, he was on the team.
anyway,
Uh,
he was a walk-on lineman.
yeah, it was tight end, I think.
No, he was a lineman. He was a
Was
lineman.
he? He claimed to
So
be.
he doesn't remember him. That's funny.
He kind of asked you one day how good of a player was. I'm trying to think about it. I don't know if I recall, you know. So, yeah, I mean, but anyway, he's done well. He's done well for himself. He's got a lot of credibility, etc. Um, can I just mention one other thing? We talked yesterday about two guys. By the way, did you see General Clark on Feinbaum? You
I didn't
didn't
see
see.
anything yesterday.
Okay, well, I did try not to be impressed with these kind of people. He's the head dude in terms of college football playoffs, and he is a sharp guy. Boy, I'm telling
Mhm.
you, but I mean, he was just as sharp as a tack, and Feinbaum had him on. And listen to him talk, and he talked about his background. And he was a pilot. He went to Air Force, and I covered Air Force back in those days. And he talked about two guys that he thought were life changers that I know do pretty well in cover. Kenny Hatfield, who coached at Florida too, by the way, and Fisher DeBerry. And Firebaum said, well, he taught you a lot of great football. He said, no, they taught us about life. Those are two guys that all these years you hear people talk with great respect about coaches. Shane, if I'm a coach, other than want to be remembered as a champion, I would love to be remembered for someone that I've helped build a guy's life, and helped
Mhm.
give him guidance and things that he needed. And Kenny Hatfield and Fisher DeBerry are not names you hear much of. It was so refreshing to hear someone who's been there
Who
say
went to Air
something.
Force?
General Clark, the guy who's their number, their main guy, who's the college football committee. He's
Oh, I thought you were talking about Clark Lee. I thought
no General Clark.
I got you. I got you. Okay.
He's
Yeah,
the
Clark
college
Lee
football.
played at Vanderbilt.
No, I think he played somewhere else first, didn't he? And then he went to Vanderbilt. Anyway, point is, you're right. But the point is, General Clark, I'm sorry, I can't think of his first name. I just didn't expect to be impressed by him, but I was. And then to see him bring up Hatfield and DeBerry, whom I knew and covered and really had a great respect for, that gives him credibility with me when he talks about guys like that. So if I'm a coach, I want to be remembered for that.
No question. The only thing I saw yesterday, buddy, was when I was scrolling through Twitter last
Yeah.
night was what Diego Pavia said that he thinks Vanderbilt's going to win a national championship.
No,
Like,
that's
come on,
nice. That's
Diego.
nice. That's
Y'all ain't going to
nice.
win 6 games this year. Last year was a great year for y'all and whatever. But all right,
Well, I
buddy,
mean, you got to believe it, I guess. So,
who you got on the program tonight?
well, I'm not on tonight, but Coach Lauren Meadows will be there, and Rob Brown will be reporting from Media Days tonight, and they'll have his cast carriages on there, and we're back at you tomorrow at a regular time. So, and
Real quick, Rob
mhm.
Brown, who's on your program a lot,
Yeah,
with that, was it what is it? S Sideline Sports?
SEC Sidelines, he actually has got his own program. It's quite successful,
Yeah, he's an
and
Auburn guy.
he is an Auburn guy.
Have you asked him what he thinks as an Auburn grad and
Mhm.
fan of the Hugh Freeze playing golf? Does he care?
Yeah, he's talked about it a lot. My son Brendan is his producer. They do the morning show right after yours every day, and he's upset with you freaks right now. He just didn't think
Mm.
he's getting a return on investment, and he thinks that And there was a rumor going around. Someone called him last night and said to him, "Freeze is going to be fired." I would be surprised, but that's what he said. He was told. So he's not happy. I think he's okay with the football part of it, like Coach Spurrier said, if they were winning.
Nobody would care.
Yeah, but he's just not getting it done at Auburn.
Well,
He
that's what I'm
just
saying. Regardless if he's playing golf or he's in his office trying to recruit his ass off on a daily basis,
right, right.
this season is what matters. So
I agree.
my point is if they go 10-2, nobody's going to even remember what his 8 scores were that reporter turned in.
Look, I can remember when Coach Spurrier got knocked out of jobs. Okay, because I did a lot of reporting on it back then because they said he was a country club coach.
Oh,
And
I
I
know.
remember many times, oh, he's not serious. He'll never work hard enough.
It's
That
just
was
like
enough.
Coach always talks about, and I believe this 1000%. When guys go for interviews, some guys are great interviews. They have all their binders and all this crap, and they can tell you what they're going to do on this date at
Yeah,
time. And there's some guys that just know ball that can't interview at all.
right.
He's one of those.
He is. And
And
he didn't get the LSU job when he should have gotten it. They gave it to Mike Archer, right? And then what it was? He should have gotten that. A lot of people backed off of him because he was kind of like Joe Cool. But that's his personality. That's who he was. And they didn't, even when he was coaching with the Bandits and was successful, people said, "Oh, he'd be a great coach." And the knock was, "No, he wants to go play golf. He didn't care about ball."
yeah,
If you know Coach Spurrier at all, and you do, when you get the Gators on the line, there's nobody more intense.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he is very intense, and
There's
he's
a time and
totally
place for it.
in the game at all times.
Yeah.
So just because he does something else, anyway, just the knock on you, it's just the way it is.
Well,
It's
look, I think Lane's a very good football coach, and he reminds me so much of Coach
he
Spurrier.
does.
His deal is he loves to fish. There's nothing wrong with it. So
Yeah, he's got a
anyway,
thing. He's got a thing going on with Hugh Freeze apparently about fish, and they thought it was related to something else. And he explained it just on the show. So why do you keep ripping on Lane Kiffin and sending him pictures of bigger fish? He says because it's about fishing. He
yeah.
sent me a picture of a small fish, and I sent a bigger
Well,
picture back.
When Hugh is coaching at Ole Miss, there's a lot of big ass bass in those lakes around Oxford,
Yeah,
Mississippi. Okay,
yeah,
and Hugh
yeah,
used to post all kinds of
yeah.
bass on his feed. So him and Lane
Who
have a
doesn't
good
like
thing.
the bass fishing when they're biting? I love it too.
Yeah.
Well, I love it as well. You know, they're vast and top. That's my most fun thing in fishing. Top water plugs, though. I'm not a shiner guy. Sit there for 10 hours a day. But I like to cast along the banks of the river. Give me a 5 pounder. Oh, man, I tell you, they give you a fight. It's exciting. It really is.
Buddy, have a good week.
All
We'll
right,
talk to you next
Shane.
week.
Thank
That's
you,
Buddy
buddy.
Martin from the Buddy Martin Show. Join us on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Quick timeout, come back. I got a few more questions and comments to get to. You're watching and listening to PodUp Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back. Our premium sponsors are Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, Meldon Law, QC Kinetics, UF Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute, JF Hayden Craft Liqueurs, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Los Linderos Tequila. Gridiron sponsors are Baker Sporting Goods, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteak, Celebrate Primary Care, Dowling Signs, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Nest and Wow, MG&A Wealth Management. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. To become a sponsor, call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Oh, all the way from the North Pole. It's me, Santa Claus. Oh, I'm here with my friend Steve Spurrier for an amazing Christmas in July offer.
Spurrier's Gridiron gift cards are on sale for 20% off.
Coach, how do they get them?
You can go to spurriers.com and order a digital card or stop by my restaurant in Celebration Point and pick some up today.
Thanks for being my holiday helper in July, Coach. Hurry, this special Christmas in July offer is for this month only. Ho, ho, ho.
I'm tired of you living in pain, and I want you to get real lasting relief from chronic pain in your knees, back, shoulders, and hips. QC Kinetics can get you moving again with cutting-edge regenerative treatments with no drugs, no downtime, and no surgery. Stop putting it off. Call now and schedule your free consultation. Call QC Kinetics now in Gainesville, Ocala, and the Villages. 352-400-4550. 352-400-4550.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Florida Crackers, the brand for original Floridians, great food and southern hospitality in the center of the universe, Brooksville, Florida, floridacracker.com. I want to thank Buddy for joining us. Large Fry on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, says, I know you don't really love recruiting, Shane, but what do you think it takes for us to keep those five-star players from Florida in state? I don't know if we've lost some. I'm not sure what the question actually means. Look, money in today's world is the most important. And I think people like playing for Billy Napier. I think they like the brand Florida. I think they think that we got a chance to be pretty good. But money and playing time probably are the biggest factors, in my opinion. But I think there's only like 25 total five-stars around America, unless they've upped that. So we'll see, but we're apparently doing pretty good. Andy's question on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel. Do you remember Alonzo Spellman when you played with the Bears? He was a hyped monster and one of the greatest physical specimens. Yes. I'll tell you a funny story about Alonzo Spellman. He's a wacko. So when I was a rookie, I was the third quarterback on the team. They would send me down with the O-line, do the running drills, running plays, pass protection. And Alonzo Spellman, and you're not supposed to touch the quarterback. Well, he was a wacko. So he was my blindside defensive end rushing. He beat whoever the left tackle was at that minute, and he freaking clobbered me. I mean, clobbered me. I was like 185 pounds, just destroyed me. All hell broke loose. I'm talking brawl, not me, but the O-line and Alonzo Spellman. So I get up the very next play. He's still there against the same guy. And so they tell me in the huddle, because you huddle real quick for the snap count. They're like, we're going to let him come through. You throw it at his, you know what, as hard as you possibly can. I was like, what? And a lot of these guys are still from the Super Bowl shuffle era. Tom Thayer, Van Horn, that whole crew. So I do it. Another fight breaks out. At least I wasn't part of it, but he started a lot of fights. He also had some mental issues, but boy, he looked the part, no question about it. So that's my Alonzo Spellman story. He was absolutely nuts. This Day in Sports brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life. Campus USA Credit Union. 2007 Major League Baseball, Philadelphia Phillies lose to the visiting St. Louis Cardinals 10-2, becoming the first franchise in American sports with 10,000 all-time losses. So that's interesting that the Phillies, seems like they've been pretty good since then, had the most losses ever. But that's This Day in Sports, brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Don't forget, if you're going to watch SEC Media Days, you got Auburn, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas today. Tomorrow, Alabama, Napier and the Gators, Mississippi State and Oklahoma show up. And then on Thursday, close it out with Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, A&M. Ooh, that's a bad day on Thursday. Huh. Interesting. So we'll get a lot of questions. Billy, I have his little address to the team or to the media folks that answer questions as usual. Good experience for these guys going to SEC Media Days. Yeah, that was a longest yard style, no question, Kevin. But you got to think of a free agent rookie who's only weighing about 185 pounds with all these guys that just recently played in the Super Bowl. Yeah, it was it was great. I'm talking these fights went on for quite some time. Tommy says, that's right, Kevin, money keeps them close to home, man. Money, 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 money. That's all I talked about now. Florida victorious, proud NIL partner of the Florida Gators, joined today to help make Florida victorious. Getting a lot of texts about this kid, this big 300-pound tight end. I don't see it. I know they're telling that kid he can come catch balls. So here's the thing. As I told you, I used to train quarterbacks, and especially when I just retired, Tebow was playing here. All these big kids wanted to play quarterback, right? So I would work with them once or twice, and then eventually I'd have to tell their moms and dads, look, your kid's going to be needs to go put his hand on the ground. He has a better chance of playing high school or college football with his hand on the ground. He can't throw well enough. His feet aren't very good. And so that's what's going to happen with this kid, in my opinion. So that's going to do it for today. Hope everybody enjoyed it. Enjoy SEC Media Days. We'll be here to talk about it tomorrow. Take care.